here, fully healthy, ready to go. What's he feeling right now?
Right.
What was that conversation like, and what made him the choice?
Yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of different people are going to try to sell you on different things throughout the recruiting process, and obviously that's their job. But when you have kind of concrete proof of being able to produce NFL quarterbacks and be able to handle transfer quarterbacks really well, puts a little bit more belief behind what you're saying. So, he has a certain pedigree with quarterbacks, especially, older guys that have transferred to him, and I think he's done a phenomenal job, and, hoping to follow in some of those guys' footsteps.
You consider yourself an older guy, and if you do, is it weird to be one of those?
Yeah, shoot, I don't know if I should have said that. I guess at this point, yeah. That is definitely weird, though. It's definitely, 100%.
Let's talk about the opportunity to come out here.
Right. I think it's just a really unique opportunity. It's similar to Elite 11, like something that you've always wanted to be a part of, and having the opportunity to be a part of makes you feel really lucky. Kind of similar environment, some of the best quarterbacks around the country. I think it's really important to obviously compete and see these guys throw, but also build relationships. So it's been a really unique experience. Like I said, just super lucky to be involved, and really happy to be here.
Going back to kind of the decision building process,
right.
It's chemistry building process. How do you feel like it's happened as you get into summer and into fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's been unique is that we have a really good veteran receiver presence. So coming in, those guys knew the system really, really well. You talk about Chris Bell and Colin Lacey, who are kind of the leaders of that room that head up those guys. So I think having them to work with has been really, really special. They've done a heck of a job, leading that group and bringing the younger guys in that room along, and have definitely helped me in terms of that chemistry building process that you touched on.
How did you describe the portal process? What was it like? Was it a whirlwind?
You said the recruiting process?
No, just the portal process.
The portal process, yeah.
What was that like for you? Hectic?
It was. I mean, it's so much more accelerated than the traditional high school recruiting process, which is obviously all my limited experience was from the high school recruiting process. I think just fielding a ton of phone calls and trying to make a decision, but also being really thorough and making sure you're making a decision for all the right reasons. I think kind of finding that balance was a unique experience, but I think we definitely took our time, and I feel like 100% unequivocally made the right choice.
Last thing for you, what are some of the things maybe Coach Brohm has shown you that he'd like to develop more?
Yeah.
Some of the things you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to answer this is always, I'm working on everything. I'm trying to, become the best possible player I can be. I think I didn't, use my athleticism as much as I should have last year, and I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. Want to showcase that a little bit more. But, I mean, I think, the unique part about having such a great offensive mind at the helm is that you have absolute faith in what's coming from the sideline. So I think, being super coachable, playing within the offense is also really important. So, like I said, I have complete faith in Coach, and, getting to continue to play under his teaching and judgment, and I think it'll all work out.
Obviously you came over from Baylor. Any personal goals there that you want to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is just to mentally and physically, respond each and every week. I think, it's a long season, and I think not having gone through that before last year, just in terms of the grind of the entire season, I think I have a unique perspective and experience going into this year on what that takes, and all the necessary steps I have to take in order to achieve that. So I think just staying mentally and physically prepared each and every week is my biggest, goal. And I think if I'm able to do that, then I'll achieve all the other ones.